When it comes to playing things wrong, I am one of the worst offenders. I grew up playing some pretty famous songs wrong. I played in bands and I would hear a Rolling Stones song and sort of get it right, but it wasn't right. Even Hendrix songs. There were lots of songs we played in our band where I just didn't take the time to learn the chords right. But in my own defense, my ear wasn't very developed, and we had to learn songs by dropping a needle in the same spot on a vinyl record. Fast forward to today, it's such a pleasure to see and hear and learn how to do these things the right way. I'm forever being surprised when I learn how our favorite people, our heroes, in the best songs of all time, did the actual rhythm guitar and the chords. I even got surprised in this video. Let's dive in. So when I heard the isolated track that Jimmy Page played on the song Ramble On, I was astounded. I always thought it was this. But it's a very clever minor chord. I mean, the genius of doing that. And when he plays it live and the guitar is hung all the way to his knees, he'll kind of mess around with that last part and do it a little differently, just for ease and because his hand is so far down on the neck. But on the isolated track, it's... And... Of course, the most famous Hendrix chord is E augmented 9, E7 plus 9. But to me, the ultimate Hendrix chord happens on Third Stone from the Sun of Are You Experienced? It's this one. And he moves it down here. Of course, it's basically an E6 chord, but the names change every time he moves it. Now, he uses it again later in the song Angel off the record Cry of Love. It happens down here. There's a very important secret chord in this song, but let me play you the part that you're most familiar with that the secret chord adds to. It's two parts, panned left and right. You're going to recognize the regular side of it, and then I'll add the secret side. So now let me add the secret chord, but like I said, it's part of a two-guitar left and right sound. Very, very common on great rock records. It's this, and the way it plays over this makes for a very magical thing on the left and the right. This David Gilmour chord has been called the most famous chord in guitar history, although Gilmour refers to it as an arpeggio. He's right. Well, everybody's right. It's from Shine On You Crazy Diamond from 1975, and it's basically a G minor 7 with a 6th on top. Gilmour uses the vibrato bar to make it float and more dreamy. For this, I grabbed a very old guitar for me. It's from 1988 or 1989. It's a Tom Anderson. It has heavy strings on it, so it sounded really good for this. Now, Gilmour has a Leslie mixed into his guitar sound. It also has reverb and delay. I have reverb and delay, but I also have the ventilator Leslie pedal on. It kind of sounds like it. And that's just the slow rotor sound. Recognize that chord? It's an F sharp 7 add 11. And all I'm doing is leaving the B string and the E string open. So this chord helped define an entire genre of huge rock music. I'm talking about the 90s. I'm talking about grunge. And in particular, you'll remember Rooster by Alice in Chains. It's also the opening chord that Alex Lifeson plays at the beginning of one of Rush's most iconic and biggest songs, Hemispheres. I mean, this chord, this formula with the open E and the open B string has been used so many times in music, particularly rock. What about Pinball Wizard? All I'm doing is dragging it up to B and leaving the high E string and the high B string open and ringing constantly. So this chord comes with some controversy. I will get to that in a second. First, George Harrison is playing a Rickenbacker 360 12 string through a Vox AC 50 amp, and he's grabbing an F add 9 chord. He is actually grabbing 2 notes with his third finger. It's easier on a Rickenbacker. The necks are smaller, but I'm getting it on this. Next, on the other side, John Lennon is playing an acoustic, probably a Gibson. It's almost the same chord, but it has an open A string in the bass. Now, for years, the prevailing wisdom was that somebody was playing a D sus chord. But recently excavated, unearthed, soloed parts have proven that it is the 360 12 string playing the F add 9, and then the acoustic guitar playing almost the same chord with the A mixed in the bass. Next, we have legendary Beatles producer George Martin playing this on a piano. And finally, Paul McCartney on his Hofner, probably at the 10th fret, playing a strong D note. Now for a quick tour of Steely Dan's most interesting chords. From the song Asia. So we've got F major 7, a G add 2, and this is D flat 6-9 with sharp 11, and then C 6-9 sharp 11. Here's how I hear Peg. C major 7, B minor 7, sharp 5, A minor 7, add 11, and E sus with this inversion. Then I hear D flat minor 7 plus 5, C major 7, G13, F7, B minor 7, E augmented 9, E7 plus 9, A minor 7, C over D, and then back to the verse, C major 7 to a B minor 7, sharp 5. And then they just bring it up. Same shapes. Okay, and we absolutely have to call out the last 4 chords of this intro. So let's call out the last 4 chords. We have C over F, then we have F sharp augmented 9, and then we have D over G, and then A flat major 13. Now there's a bigger way to play these. Once again, C over F, F sharp augmented 9, D over G, and then A flat major 13. The choice is yours. Okay, I'm going to play you 3 famous chords, but they're not going to sound famous until I put them in context. E minor 7, A sus, and a simpler sus, D sus. Now check this out. By adding a simple G chord, it becomes Wonderwall by Oasis. And it's a very comfortable thing because you can lock your 2 fingers up here and just play the 4 chords with these anchored. No collection of chords would be complete without perhaps the most iconic chord of all time. Of course, it's the James Bond chord. 25-year-old British studio guitarist Vic Flick played that chord and the theme on 1962's soundtrack for Dr. No. Let's spell it. We have a 1, a flat third, a 5, a natural 7, and a 9. 1, flat third, 5th, natural 7, and 9. E minor major 9. Now we move to a song that I actually played on. I played the second guitar part, an ambient part with a vibrato arm on my Strat that just floats around during the track. We cut this live in the basement at Capitol Records. This is Neil Finn's signature part on Crowded House's Don't Dream It's Over. This is a sus2 chord at the beginning of this. It's an E flat on the song, but it's generally played very often on an A. And it's a pretty cool chord. It was used a lot in the 80s. The cool thing about it is there's no third, so you don't have that pesky tuning problem with the third of the chord being too sharp or too flat. It's really an in-tune chord. And then he drops to what might be called a 9th chord. And then up to a sus4 chord. A quick reminder, if you want to support the channel and these videos, just click the link below, sign up for our newsletter, and we will send you 30 free guitar lessons. See you on the next one. Hey guys, a lot of the time YouTube will bring you my videos even though you're not subscribed. If you get the chance, click this subscribe button and ring the bell.